All right, guys. So I realized that I made a mistake and I didn't share it properly. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing, but there's like 8 people who requested it. Hopefully, you guys are still interested. I didn't. Hopefully, like it didn't take me so long. But yeah, this was. I was just giving this away for those who don't know what I'm talking about. I wrote this a long time ago, but there's probably some errors in it, which is why I was like, let me not just release it, but I want to give it away for free. That way, at least, I'm sure there's a lot of useful information in it. Especially, there's 2 parts, so I'm gonna put it both in the description. The first, there, honestly, it's about 1,000 pages. It's like kind of like an encyclopedia, but it's in the context of like arguing against the Salafi version of history because they have their own version of history. So I wanted to like describe things. So I went like in depth, like each generation of Hanbali Creed books, right? Because they always say, oh, they all agree with them. So we just wanted to go into what they said, right? And actually, there's not that many old Creed books, so I was able to look at almost all of them. Almost every single Hanbali that spoke on Akida, almost all of them, I was able to get their opinion. There's only a few that I didn't get them, and so you could find almost everything in here relating to that. And then I went into you know, some of the students of Ibn Taymiyyah, and then some of the early Asharis and how they relate to the later ones, because the Salafis say that these two disagree, and so I wanted to bridge them. And there's another book. Let me see if I can. 1 second. Okay, and this is part two. The Creed of the Salaf. These are some early Malikis. I wanted to see their creed, and I think It doesn't agree with the Salafis, so that's why I felt like sharing it. And these are some early Hanafis that were Atharis, right? It's pretty interesting stuff that comes out of them. And these are the Shafi Atharis, right? Pretty, there's so much information. Then there's like one of the first tafsir writers, what his creed was. So I wanted to go into everything. And then eventually I went into the Wahhabism, right? So we start with creed, like theology, and then I went into Wahhabi. So it's pretty good. I mean, look, there's some flaws in it. You're not going to see a perfect book. I apologize for like any mistakes in it. But in the end, I'm sure there's the worst case scenario. The best thing you could get out of this is all the quotes, because it's mostly quotes. Look how many quotes I put in. Because you know what, I don't want to speak without quotes because I don't want it to be too much my opinion. I wanted to justify what I said. You know what I mean? And so I think the quotes are more valuable than anything. That alone will like you could use that alone. Forget about my opinions. But yeah, that's it. So.